Marketing Deconstructed is the podcast where we cut through the noise and break marketing down into what actually works. I'm Jennifer White, founder of Five and Rise Marketing, and after 30 plus years in corporate, agency, and entrepreneurial marketing, I know this. You don't need more tactics. You need foundations, systems, and strategy that supports real growth. Here, we deconstruct marketing so you can simplify, refocus, and rise. Let's get into it. So let me say this up front. 2026 is not the year you can outpost your way to success. It's not the year you can chase trends, copy what's working for someone else, or throw more content at the wall and hope that something sticks. Because the truth is, most marketing won't work in 2026. Not because marketing's dead, but because the way that people trust, the way that they search, and the way that they decide has completely changed. We are officially in the era where content is easy to create, but attention is really hard to earn. And that's exactly why foundational and holistic marketing is coming back stronger than ever in 2026 and beyond, really. Marketing that is built on clarity, built on systems, built on trust, built on authenticity. And it's built around real humans, not just algorithms and not just AI. So in today's episode, I'm going to break down the 25 biggest shifts that I'm taking from 2025 into 2026 and what's actually going to work if you want to grow something real this year. Because trends don't grow brands, but the foundations of marketing do. So the first thing I want to talk about is the real problem. Because we're in a trust and attention crisis. People are drowning in content. They're drowning in ads, automation, and all the AI noise that's out there in the universe right now. So trust is really what is our currency, and it should be our currency. People should come into our universe and trust what it is that we're helping them with, how we're serving them, what we're sharing with them, right? Trust is really important in what we're trying to do. So we've been in what I would say is a trust recession over the last couple of years. And I don't know that I would say that we're in a trust recession anymore because AI is actually making that deeper. And I'm not sure what to label that. But what's happening is that people don't want perfect marketing. They want real marketing. They're craving live conversations. They're craving real faces. They're craving real voices and real proof that what you're offering is actually going to solve the problem that they have. So your job in 2026 isn't to be louder. It's to be more believable and be authentically you. So, trust is built through consistency, clarity, and real connection, and not shiny new objects, not hacks, and not what is the trend of the day. Let's talk about what's broken in marketing. Most marketing isn't going to work because it's built on vanity, randomness, and volume instead of strategy, right? We've always been kind of taught to grow our followers, grow the amount of people that we have in our universe, and actually share that message out there in hopes that they're continuing to share our message and getting it out there. But here's the thing is that posting more often isn't going to fix that broken strategy. Your pretty content with no purpose is going to create zero momentum for you and for your business and for the client that you're trying to serve. I'm everywhere doesn't matter if you aren't memorable. And generic AI content is making brands blend in to the same beige blur instead of actually standing out for the authority and authentic person, authentic brand that you are. So we want to look at what holistic marketing means. And it means that everything is working together. Your content, your trust, your offers, your nurture, your visibility is all working together in a holistic, way that is foundational to your business, and it's based on the marketing foundation and fundamentals, which makes up what I do every day, which is marketing. So let's talk about the 25 trends that will work in 2026. Let's dig into social media first. So I have actually 5 things that are working and will be working continually in 2026 that we're actually starting to bring over from 2025, meaning that like there are things that we were building um, up as we ended 2025, and there are things that we're actually also taking with us into this year of 2026 and continuing to grow and build on those things. So first of all, we touched on it a little bit already, is that saves of your content are greater than likes. So people that are actually saving, we want to look at the private actions that people are taking on your social media profiles are actually the signal of how you know what's working and what people are resonating with. So it's the saves, the shares, actually taking screenshots. It's the DMs and the conversations. It is how long somebody is actually on your profile, looking at your feed, watching your videos. Those are all statistics that we can track now. It's not just the number of followers. Social equals search. Social media is now becoming as much of a search engine as all the actual big search engines. People search on TikTok, they search on Instagram, they search on YouTube, they search on Reddit, they search on LinkedIn. So the hashtag is actually becoming the keyword. And you don't even need on platforms most of the time the hashtag sign in front of the keyword that it is that you're trying to resonate with your ideal client, right? You want to make sure though that you have the keywords that you want to be known for, how you want people to find you, how you want to show up in the world. Because when people are on those social media platforms, they're actually searching for the content that they want to see. And so you want to be ready for them. Utility content wins. This is number 3. Utility content wins. So same thing, carousels, checklists, the how-tos, the comparison posts. But you want to do it in a more authentic way. You want to show your face. You want to do videos. You want to do reel. You don't want to you want to show you in real time, right? You don't necessarily want to just create AI content or an AI video of you, because that's part of the trust issue, is that there's so much AI content out there being created because it's new, it's shiny, it's bright, everybody's trying it, right? It's the new thing that everybody wants to do. And there's so much that you can do. But the problem with that is, or the challenge with that is that we're getting to a point that AI content is so real that we don't know what's real and what isn't real anymore. So people actually want to know that it's your voice behind what you're putting out there, and it's your face behind what you're putting out there, and not something that was just created on AI. And we'll kind of dig into a little bit more of different ways that you can do that. So commenting on LinkedIn is actually the growth hack. So instead of just reading somebody's content, and also for you putting out the content, what you want to do is make sure that you're engaging with the people that are your ideal client and who it is that you want to bring into your universe. So you want to go find them on LinkedIn and actually start engaging with them on their platform so they know where to find you and you become visible to them. That visibility builds your relationships. And I will tell you right now, the algorithm rewards that on LinkedIn. And I don't see that changing because, again, it's the real conversations and the real relationships that the algorithms across all platforms are actually promoting. And then I talked about this. Number 5 is that faces are going to beat logos every time. It's your personal brand. It's your face. It's your voice, your employee voices, right? Your client voices, the people that already are working with you in your universe. Those real people are going to outperform the brand all the time. So every once in a while, you can actually share your brand, share your logo, but 95% of the time, you want to make sure that what they're seeing is you, your face, your people. proof, personality, right? All of that is what you want to you should be doing that already, but you want to actually continue to grow that side of everything that you're doing that. So remember, faces beat logos every time. So in 2026, social media isn't a popularity contest. It's your trust building platform. So you really need to think about how you can come to the platform to build trust with those people that you want in your universe. Okay, let's talk about 4 more trends in marketing, AI and content creation. So we want to make sure that with AI that we're working smarter and not let AI become the soul of your business. We want you to remain the soul of your business and your brand, right? So look at AI as the repurposing engine. So this is number 6. AI is the repurposing engine. AI is going to multiply your voice. It shouldn't replace it. So if you take a long piece of content, like for instance, I could take this podcast that we're doing. It's a long form piece of content. I can take this, put it into AI and say, hey, AI, here's my voice. Here's the topic that I'm talking about. I want you to cut it up. I want you to create additional content pieces that I can put out on all of my social media platforms. But here's the thing is, you're asking AI to help you. You're not asking AI to do it for you. And so the content remains authentically yours and you remain the authority and not the other way around. Okay, number 7, AI slop is being rejected. I don't know if you've been on Pinterest lately, but what I can tell you is that I think that 95% of the content on Pinterest is all AI generated. It's very hard to find an authentic human being or piece of content on Pinterest these days. And audiences can smell generic AI content instantly. So don't do it. Number 8, AI workflow becomes normal. So here's the thing is, we want AI to be a tool that helps you in your business. We want you to be able to do more, create more, and be more of you, right? And your brand and the people in your world. But we want AI to be a tool that helps you do that and not the other way around. We don't want you to rely on AI. We want AI to rely on you and the information that you're giving it, right? So your AI workflow is going to become normal. You can actually talk to AI and it can help you brainstorm, right? It can help you come up with drafts that you can then put into your voice and humanize them. You can actually repurpose the information and the conversation that you're having with it, but it still remains you. You can analyze it. You can repeat it. So it's actually going to become your workflow and it's going to become more normal as you integrate it into what you're doing every day. Number 9 is the addition to that is that human editing is going to become your advantage because so many people are relying on AI to do their work for them that they're looking for content that includes your taste, your truth, your tone. And it's what is actually going to equal what makes your content land with people because AI starts to sound like AI and not a human who is actually sharing what they know and allowing you to get to know them better, right? AI only lets you get to know AI better and sound like everybody else. So again, use it as a tool, but edit it as yourself authentically and bring that human aspect to any content that you're working through or with AI on. So the brands that win aren't using less AI, but they're using it with more intention. And I think that's really what you need to focus on in 2026 if AI is going to become a larger part of what you're doing on the daily. And it should, it will. Just need to know how to use it. Okay. So let's talk about the next 3 things that we're taking from our agency and all the work that we did in 2025 into 2026 with us, and the things that are going to continue to work and grow and iterate. And that's SEO and AEO and being found in AI searches. So let me start by saying, so SEO is search engine optimization. AEO is answer engine optimization. And then there's just being found on AI search, right? So number 10 in our list of 25 is being selected beats being ranked these days in 2026. Being selected is going to beat being ranked. So AI search is going to choose the answer that best meets the question that's being asked of it. And it's not just going to choose the top blue link that people find when they're searching on Google. So all of the content that AI shifts through, what they're looking for is the best answer to the question that somebody asked of it. And so if you can be that brand, that person, that company that answers that question, you're going to be selected versus being just ranked on AI. Number 11, structured content is going to perform better. So what this means is if the AI engines are actually looking for answers to questions that are being asked of it, we're looking at structured content in the form of frequently asked question pages, clear headings, direct answers, glossary content. Those are the things that when you're building a website or you're building landing pages or things out there that can actually be indexed by AI and by websites, that is going to make your content stand out and be found in all of these different locations. Number 12, AI visibility is actually becoming a new metric. We're actually doing this in our agency when we're building out strategies for people and we're kind of looking at everything, where they've been and where they want to go. We're actually looking and researching and asking those questions is, what's your presence look like on AI? What's your brand? How does it show up on AI? And so it's important, that you need to care if you're showing up in AI responses and not just Google. And that's really important. And we look at those numbers all the time. And then based on that, we can actually form a baseline. And then we can actually work with brands and companies and businesses to help them become better visible in the AI engines. So just remember this, if people can't find you, they can't buy from you. So it's important to make sure that you're showing up and showing up consistently and showing up in the places that are important to your ideal client and who it is that you want to bring into your universe. So now let's talk a little bit about content marketing. There are 4 trends that, and I call them trends, but they're not like the day-to-day trend. Like these are things that were working in 2025 that are going to work in 2026. And then we're going to continue building on them as part of our foundations as we continue to grow, right? So first of all, long form is your source. So like I had mentioned to you before, podcast, YouTube videos, newsletters, that is your content engine because you can actually take that content and you can repurpose it and put it out in different places, right? And that is a great way to use AI, as we mentioned, because you can actually feed information that you've already created, put that in AI, and it can actually help you compound it so that you have additional content that is yours and authentically yours, and you can show up in lots of different places at lots of different times. So long form content should be used as your source. Number 14, distribution of your content is greater than the creation of it. So as I'm talking to you about taking long form content and creating more pieces from it, that creation part becomes easier, but it's the distribution and how it travels to the places that are going to impact and resonate with the people that you want it to is more important. Because if you don't plan where you're going to show up and how you're going to show up and how it's going to get there, everything that you're doing just disappears. And so you want to make sure that you have a great plan to distribute the content that you're actively creating. Number 15, point of view is greater than information. Your interpretation of something is going to become your brand. It is authentically you. It's your point of view about a topic. It's your point of view of your authority in a particular space, right? And that is what is important. And is also going to show that you're actually a real person versus just giving out a bunch of information that doesn't mean a lot to people. Number 16, serial content beats random posting. And so I think it's important that you have a method to your madness. You have a strategy to your content. Your content should feel like episodes in your story, not just announcements or random things that you're just putting out because you think that people want to hear it, right? Or it's the subject of the day. Now, I'm not saying that if there's something trending and you relate to it, that you can't go out there and give your point of view on it and put it out there and take advantage of the impact that that particular topic is having that day. Like, definitely do it, right? But what you want to make sure is that you continually are talking in a strategic way about all of the things that make up you, your brand, your service, the people that are in your universe, right? The people that are already working with you. And you want to weave that story so that there's there's strategy behind it, right? You don't want to just put random content out in the world and just post. And again, just throw stuff like throw spaghetti at the wall, right? And see what sticks. And it's that continuing story that you're weaving throughout your social media and everything that you're doing. So think about it this way, that holistic marketing is when content isn't scattered, it's connected. And so you want to make those connections throughout everything that you're doing, right? And not just content, but all of the things that make up your business and why people should trust you and what you're doing. It's because it's not done in a half-ass way, right? It's all connected and people feel comfortable, right? They trust that what you say you're going to do, you're going to do. They trust that who they see is who they see. So just keep that in mind as you're putting together additional content, because that type of content is going to continue to compound your brand. Next, let's talk about paid ads and actually creative that converts, right? So there are 3 points I want to talk about here. So resonance beats targeting. That's 17. Targeting continually gets weaker. You've probably seen, you've probably heard, you've probably scrolled, right? And seen a lot of people talk about how the paid ad platforms like Meta and Google and all of that are letting you do less and less targeting because they are relying on them to do it. They're relying on AI to do it. They're relying on your content and your creative to do it. So it's now the creative that you're putting in your campaign that's actually going to carry the campaign and make sure that the right message is put in front of the right people at the right time to bring you more qualified customers, clients, leads, etc. And that is what's going to resonate with the people, again, that you want to bring into your universe. So number 18, native content style ads are going to win. So if it looks like an ad, no one wants to see it. Again, it's all about real. It's all about authenticity. It's all about who people see you as, who they perceive you to be, and that what you're showing people is actually that. They don't want to see an AI video of you and an AI voice that you create to sound like you. They actually want to hear and see you. And that's really important in the ad creative that you put out there. So that native content of you, like real stuff, is what is going to win in the advertising lane when you're doing paid ads on the social platforms. The other thing is that the simplicity of the ad is going to resonate with people. So you might see a lot of ads out there that are text ads, or they just they don't look like a really highly produced, created ad that's showing up in your feed. It is just something really simple, sometimes ugly, that's actually going to resonate with the person that you put it in front of. It's that highly produced, shiny content is not going to do you any favors in 2026. And I think beyond, because we're actually just getting back to simple messages to the right people at the right time. And that's actually what's going to help you build your business and grow. Okay. Last thing is we're talking about paid ads and creative that converts is number 19, retargeting becomes the education and belief building. So when you are building your audience that you're putting your paid ads in front of, what you want to retarget them with is proof, demos, and clarity of what it is that that you're selling, right? Or what your offer is. You don't want to put that high sales pressure on them. So no pressure. You just want to show them proof, demos, clarity of what it is that you're putting out there. And that's truly going to help build trust to the people that have already seen your content, right? That's what retargeting is. So your ads can't save a weak foundation, but they can only amplify what's already working. So it's really important as you're putting your ad strategy together that you start with a strong foundation, a strong system, because that's what's going to work. And then you can amplify what's actually working, and that will contribute to the growth of your business. Okay. Let's talk about the other side of ads, right? One of the things that we're trying to get ads to do is generate really good leads and build trust. So we want to look at trust as signals of the funnel, right? Your trust signals are actually the funnel. And those are things like reputation, credibility, and familiarity. The other thing I want you to kind of look at as you're generating leads and trying to drive conversions to what it is that you're offering people is that there is a longer sales cycle right now because people, it takes them longer to actually trust other people. And again, it's this atmosphere of AI and all that's being created of AI. You don't really know and can't really trust whether it's a real image or if it's a real person or if it's a real voice or if it's even a real product that somebody's offering out there, right? So building a funnel based on reputation, credibility, and familiarity is what's actually going to help drive conversions into your business. So as we go into 21, step 21 or trend 21 or however we want to say that is dark social drives sales. And it's because of this longer sales cycle, right? So think of things like your organic content is working alongside your paid content, which is working alongside your long form content, which is working alongside your website and all the stuff that you do, right? People are going to see it and they're going to take time to absorb it. They're going to take time to resonate with it. And they're not always going to respond right away. They're going to actually vet you in a way online through social and even may reach out to other people that they see in your world and ask about you. Those are the things, those little things that are kind of behind the scenes in that dark space that we can't really quantify that are going to drive your conversions. So they're going to happen. Conversions are going to happen in spaces that you can't necessarily track. The stuff that you can track is still really important, but you also have to understand that people are going to jump off the stuff that you're tracking, but they're still going to kind of watch from afar before they make a decision to work with you. And that's what that means, that dark social drives sales. 22, first party data is non-negotiable. This is really important. And it isn't something that you haven't heard before. Again, it's one of those things that it's actually foundational. And we're bringing it in from 2025, which we brought in from 2024, and which we brought in from, even prior to several years before, is that your list is your leverage. Your list is permanent. If you don't have a list, your business is just rented, because in a heartbeat, and you've heard this before, all these platforms could go away. And if they go away and you don't actually have a list that you've continually built from all the work that you're doing out there, you don't have a whole lot, especially in the world of online, right? And in the digital world and the digital spaces. Now, brick and mortar is a little bit different, but you're still building a list, right? You're building a list of customers who come in and they sign up for your email list, right? Or they sign up for receiving coupons or discounts, or if they want to hear from you about sales and events that you're having, right? And how do you do that? It can't always, and it can't just be on social media platforms, or even in person without collecting that information. So you always need to be continually building your list, and that becomes your leverage, because if all of these things go away, you're still able to communicate with all of those people that have said they want to communicate with you. And you don't need all these social platforms, right? You have all kinds of other tools that you can use to make sure that you're still in conversation with the people on your list. And that is what first party data is. And that's why it's non-negotiable. Okay. Heading down into the stretch, right, of our 25 things. Let's talk about algorithms and the new rules of reach. And it's not really a new rule. I don't really actually know why I would quantify it as a new rule, except that it has more of a shift in the way that the algorithms are working these days. But for me, it's not really a new rule, because I have preached for the last 30 years that I've been in the marketing world, is that consistency beats creativity and anything all the time. The familiarity builds trust faster than any novelty that you put out there every single day. When I tell people it's important to be consistent, here's why. Because if people are looking for you and they know where to find you and they know when to find you and they know how to find you, they're going to always see you. So if you can only post on social media on a Tuesday, then you should post every Tuesday, because the people that want to build a relationship with you and want to see what you're talking about, hear your message, and be able to reach out to you, they know to find you on Tuesdays. Likewise, if you can only post on one platform, post on the platform that your ideal client is most likely to be hanging out. This is nothing new, right? If you can only post one day a week on one platform, you want to make sure that you're consistently posting on the same day and you're posting on the platform where your people are hanging out. It's pretty simple. And then from there, that's when you build. Then you add that Wednesday post. So now you're posting consistently on Tuesday and Wednesday on the platform where your people are hanging out. And then let's say, you know what, we have a pretty big following on a different platform. So now we're going to post on 2 platforms 2 days a week, and we're going to do that consistently. So if you can post across every platform every day and you can do that, then go do it. But if you can only post a couple times a week on a couple different platforms, you want to make sure that you're choosing the right platform to put the right message in front of the right person at the right time, so that they always know where you are and they always feel comfortable and can find you. And when they're ready, they can buy from you. They can enter your universe. They can feel comfortable to ask the questions that they need to. So that is what I mean by consistency. And see, it's not really a new rule, but it's new to the algorithms in how they are looking at consistency differently than they used to. On that same note, number 24, algorithms, reward structure, and clarity. So again, this is pretty foundational, but it's all the stuff that we do and that we're continuing to do here in 2026 because algorithms are going to reward structure and clarity. So not only are they looking at consistency, but they're looking at how things are built and they're looking at clarity. So you want to consider a clear message, clear value, clear intent. And the reason that the algorithms are placing importance on those things is because that's how people find you. And if your message isn't clear, it's going to get lost. And if the value of your offer and what you're doing isn't clear, then the algorithm isn't going to know what to show to people that you want it to be shown to. And if your intent on what your content is about and what you're trying to do and what your offer is, they're not going to show it to the right people. So all of those things are important for the algorithm to make sure, again, you've heard me preach this, right? To put the right message in front of the right person at the right time so that they can actually work with you. So the algorithm isn't random. It actually rewards content that people actually want to keep. And if your message isn't clear, if your intent's not clear, if your value isn't clear and you aren't consistent, what are they going to keep? So those are the things that the algorithm places an importance on. And those are things that as you're putting together your strategies in 2026 that you need to take into consideration. Okay. Last point, right? And I have been saying this throughout this whole podcast. And it's something that I, again, it's a foundation of everything that we do and everything that we put behind the strategy that we do for our clients. And that is authenticity. And not only authenticity, but showing up live and in person and bringing those connections. So those live in-person connections are coming back really, really strong in 2026. They've been coming back, right? You see more people doing live events. People want to meet more in person, but it becomes even more important as we've been talking through all of this is because there's so much crap out there that AI is allowing us to create and put out there that people really want to connect with the real brand, the real person behind the brand, and talk to people that are actually using you or that are already in your environment and are working with you on a consistent basis, right? And so it's important to show up live, create events, do live Zoom calls, show up live stream on your social media platforms, right? And then host community meetups or create a community. I think you'll see kind of a resurgence of Facebook groups coming back also in 2026 because the one thing about Facebook is that so many people are on the platform already all the time. It's not a new app. It's not a new location. I'm already on there. My ads are running on there. All this stuff is running on there. So why don't I just meet people where they're at and start creating content in my group and start creating live stream videos in my group? And then I can take those live videos and I can take them off platform and invite people to go and replay them. Because I will say that the content can't live on Facebook as long as it used to live on Facebook, but it just allows you to invite people into another place that they can have more access to, right? So you can build off of that Facebook, you can build your list, you can invite them to something else. And that's really important. And that's something that I have learned over the last few years is that you always want to have something to invite people to, because what that does is it continually creates your relationship and your community with other people without always feeling like you're trying to sell. It's again bringing that authenticity back, building those relationships, building that community, building that warm audience that already knows you. And so when they have a problem that they know that you can solve, who are they going to come to? They're going to come to you because they're already in your community. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing that we're working on with our clients in 2026. And I think that it is something that you're going to continually see as we go. So, okay. So think of these as, they're not really trends. They're really signals of what people are looking for in the market today, right? They are just tired of all the fake stuff. And here's the thing is AI hasn't really been around that long if you think about it. And people are already tired of it. But what they aren't tired of is us, right? And building those relationships. People want those human relationships. And so they're not really trends. It's just a signal of what it is that people are looking for. And so the other thing is that we've always built our strategy, the things that we do for our clients that we serve is we build our strategy based on holistic and foundational principles of marketing. And what that means is that holistic marketing is when your message, your content, your platforms, your nurtures, your offers, your sales cycle and funnel and follow up and all of those things all work together to create one clear brand experience. And it's a holistic experience, right? Things aren't siloed. Everything works together. Everything is connected. Everything tells your story. And if you show up live and in person, then you are just carrying that story forward. So keep that in mind as you are looking to market things in 2026. So I'm going to leave you with this. This is kind of a mini checklist of if you don't really know where to start, here's a simple action list on all of the things that we've talked about today and how you can apply them to what you're doing in 2026. One, you want to fix your foundation. You want to have a clear foundation, your message, your offer, clarity, and you want it to be authentic and in your voice. Two, to be consistent, pick one or two platforms and dominate them before you move on. Three, create long form content weekly because you can take that content and you can cut it up in shorter form content and you can put it out there on different platforms as clips, as snippets, as text, static images, all of that kind of thing. So it's kind of like create once and repurpose. Repurpose with AI. Take that long form content, feed it to AI, and then humanize the final output and then share your message. Number 5, build your list and nurture it. Number 6, track saves, shares, DMs, replies, not just the likes and not just the followers, and engage. 7, be seen live. Do your Zoom calls, do your live streams, plan events, invite people to something, build your community. So that's where I'm going to leave you. Take that checklist, hang it on your wall, put it in front of you. And those are the things that you should start doing or continue doing in 2026. And that should be the foundation of your marketing going through this next year. If this episode hit you, I want you to remember this. Trends don't grow brands, foundations do. And you've been feeling like you're posting consistently, but it's not converting, or you're doing all the right things, but you feel stuck. That doesn't mean you're bad at marketing. It usually means that your foundation needs to be simplified and aligned. So here's what I want you to do. Send me a DM with the word foundation, and I'll tell you the first thing I would fix in your marketing as you are going through 2026. If you love this episode, make sure that you subscribe, share it with a business owner who's tired of doing the most and getting the least. And I will see you on the next episode of Marketing Deconstructed.